Hello, everyone. This is Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition. And we saw a market bloodbath today across the board. Everything sold off. And crypto, especially. Crypto, the worst bloodbath ever for Bitcoin, down over $10,000, right? And the sell off continues. And just like I predicted, I did the Sunday, look out, it's going to crash post. It's basically coming to fruition. Now, because it's crashing, it's dragging everything else with it. The market today was down pretty heavily, but as I'm going to show you, it's going to be down a lot heavier tomorrow, right? And maybe not. Maybe crypto will turn around, not, but I don't think so. I predicted that crypto will probably go down to 30,000 before it settles for a little bit, and then maybe go down lower. But it's going to be interesting. So everyone's finding out that Bitcoin is not the new gold, right? So gold is always and has been for thousands of years gold, and that's where people store wealth. Same thing with silver, but silver's getting slammed as well, down almost 50% from its high. So will it go lower? I think it might. All right. I think it's a very good possibility that it's going to go a little bit lower. And we'll talk about that as well. So more and more buying opportunities, for all of you that were crying that it went too high. Now you're going to get a buying opportunity. We'll see if you want to, wade into that, right? I will, of course, but a lot of people, they're base their whole lives on, things always going up, like Bitcoin. A lot of people thought that Bitcoin would never go down. Of course, it's always gone down. It's not nuclear, but crypto winner. So, you just see the patterns in things. You become an observer of patterns, and you throw in a little intuition, mix it all together, and you come out with some good things in your life, right? Uh, so I looked at that and I was like, I told you guys, it's like not looking so good for crypto. And I've said that probably in the first quarter we would have a downturn in the stock market. Now it looks like we may be in that. Now I always use the caveat that things could go up, things could be different from the way I view it, and sometimes they are. Not always, very rarely, but occasionally they are different from what I see because I'm using that intuition. So it is very, very valuable. If you don't know how to use it, then I have courses, and of course, many of you have done those courses. So good for you, and you're doing probably a lot better in life than most people. So we're going to look at a few things. We're going to see some weather pattern shifting. If you look at the tropical tidbits, it's basically going to reveal that things are going to change. I'm on the West Coast. We've had a little bit of a departure from normal, just like the rest of the country, where basically the cold pushed down hard because of the sun activity. Really came into the polar vortex and like hammered it and pushed the polar vortex down into the United States. And that caused a lot of coldness and some record-setting. Thousands and thousands of records have been set for cold across the United States, and snow and ice and things that most people in the Southeast aren't used to happen this year on a massive scale. Now, I've been predicting this would happen because we're going into a global solar minimum. We're not going into it; we're in it, and we've been in it. And of course, they, being the Luciferian reptilians, have been lying to us for quite some time. So we're getting wise to their lies, and we're starting to adjust. And whatever they say, we know that we do the opposite and we win, right? So we want to win. We want them to lose, and their time is coming to an end. Look at that video I just did with Craig Lund, and we talked about the Luciferian agenda, what they have going on, and Silicon Satan, his book. You've seen it all. So he's out there revealing, and we both talked. He's into guns and hand to hand like me, and he said, I could have gone in and gone after those guys with my guns, but this is better, revealing their information. I was like, that's the way I am too. I could go in and, shoot the place up and take a lot of bad guys down, but then they make me look like the bad guy and they look like heroes. But this is something that is happening across the world. A lot of things are being revealed. Now, they are the controllers of the money system. And as the money system that they control is basically rejected by us, the Federal Reserve, which came in 1913, and also the tax, the income tax came in 1913. The IRS, which is basically the mafia strong arm for the Federal Reserve. We're rejecting all that. We're rejecting that, and it's basically going to collapse. But when that collapses, we're going to see stock market collapsing. We'll see a pullback, like always happens with stock market collapses, in silver and gold. Now, gold really did pretty good today, actually. It held up really, really nicely. So it's going to get colder, but we're going to be able to survive. We always do, and we always win, right? So here's the snow. The snow starting tonight is going to really start to come in to the north, Illinois, Michigan areas, and as you can see, it's going to press down further south and really bring in a lot of cold. Some places won't get temperatures above 0 degrees. So that polar vortex, which is being influenced by the sun, is really hammering some areas. Now, around the 9th, we're going to start to see the cold and the snow come back to the west, right? So we need it out here. We need to build up our snowpack so that the skiers have fun. I'd like to go out and ski, but it's not been very good snow. So maybe this will bring in the snow. I've been projecting that we were going to get lots of snow out here, so it looks like it's going to return. And as you guys are seeing here, it's going to really start to pile up again on the West Coast, right? So this is going through the next couple of weeks. And as you see, the West Coast is really, they get those purples and greens and whites. That's like, feet and feet and feet of snow. So that's going to be good. It's going to be good for, keeping things from burning as much as California wants to burn things, which they will do again this year, I believe. But it is being rejected by a lot of us, and maybe we'll just rise up and go after the directed energy weapons that they're using and turn it against them. All right, burn them up, see how they like it. All right, so I think that's the way things are going to have to start to go, guys. We can't depend on Donald Trump and the White Hats. The Q team, they can't do it all, right? And they're proving they can't do it all. We have a lot of instances of things they haven't been able to accomplish. One being Tina Peters, getting her out of Colorado jail. The extremely corrupt Colorado. I get to fly through the Denver airport here in a little while, and that's the most satanic airport in the world, I think. It's like I remote viewed that thing one time. It's like many levels down, right? So the deep state, they're bad. They're bad characters. We need to take them down. We need to get active. We need to get involved. All right. So they found a second lab, and this is from Kevin Kiley of California. Yes, there are good congressmen and women out there. Kevin Kiley being one of them, and he's basically revealing an illegal biolab was just raided in Vegas. It's run by the same CCP linked Chinese nationals who operated the secret biolab found a few years ago in Reedley, California, which was oozing with E. coli, HIV, malaria, and other dangerous pathogens. And I think the way they found that is like somebody was doing inspections and so forth, and drove by and saw these. It looked like an abandoned warehouse, and there were like hoses going into it and so forth. And they decided to. Somebody just got intuition, and they went and inspected, and they found like a massive, dangerous bioweapon laboratory in California, of all places. How about that, Gavin Newsom? Uh, so I guess I think it's what's a beer company? Is it Budweiser? I think it's Budweiser. After like 50 years or however long it's been, they've had a Budweiser plant in California. They're moving, right? So everything is leaving California. All right, they're driving everyone out. All the businesses, everything is leaving. They're going to try and raise the taxes of gasoline again. The most heavily taxed gasoline tax in the country, probably the world. And California wants to raise it some more. How about that? You Californians, I feel sorry for you. I loved California when I lived there, but I got the hell out of there, right? And I won't go back until that's all gone, right? I don't know. Maybe you guys are going to have to rise up, because they basically gerrymandered so that they can stay in power even longer. So, and we know that the deep state, they like idiots like Gavin Newsom to be in power because they can control them. And pretty much that's what all of California politicians are. They're all idiots, and they're all controlled by the deep state, and they really make life hell for Californians. So they need to be removed, right? One way or the other. So after the Reedley discovery, I called for a House investigation. The report that followed contained truly unbelievable details about the lab and the international fugitive who ran it. I'm now calling for urgent action on my bill to find these labs and shut them all down. So how many more of these labs are around the country? And why are they even there? Who allowed them? This is very suspect. So this is the CCP, the Communist China Party, right? China Communist Party. And they are here in America with these dangerous biolabs. Who is allowing that? Well, we know that California did, for one, and Nevada did for another. And who's Nevada and California right next to each other? So what is going on? You politicians, you health inspectors, shame on you, right? Somebody needs to take action on you for doing that, and you need to not to be able to escape from justice, right? So, and we know the only way that's going to happen is if we personally, we the people, get involved, guys. All right, it's moving in that direction, and I think that's really what's going to have to happen, because we're not getting any response from the Trump administration like we should be. All right. So Michael Burry, the guy that did The Big Short, he's not short, but he did The Big Short back when 2011-ish, 2009, 2011, and made a lot of money. And so he called out crypto. He said Bitcoin slide below 80,000. This was days ago. When was this? This was back in. This just came out today. So was it? Did crypto it lost 10,000 a day, so it's down around 60 and still losing money. But this must have been a couple of days ago that he said this. I don't know. It's not saying the date, but he was saying that has intensified worries that a wider downturn in the broader crypto sector could be imminent. And today it was. Like Mike said back on Sunday, emergency. Did I say Sunday or was it Saturday? It might have been even sooner. So anyway, I called it, and here it is. Market experts believe that the recent slide in Bitcoin's price may not be an isolated correction, and today that was correct. Now tomorrow, if it holds up the way it's rolling, we're going to see a very massive sell-off tomorrow. Very massive. Now you guys know that I've been calling for a very serious correction in the stock market, and of course this is the deep state stock market. So if it does crash, it's going to be probably of their making, because they have a lot of problems, and so why wouldn't they just rug pull right? And try and take all of us out with them. Yes, that's what they're probably going to do. And so just be heads up. If I've been warning this for a long time, get out of the stock market. If you've been investing in silver, you're still way ahead in silver, right? Even though it's almost a 50% pullback, and we could see a little bit more. So we'll look at that, and I'll talk about that here in a second. So Market Watch, I'm looking. Let me go ahead and pull that up so you guys can see what I'm looking at. So Market Watch is basically showing us that things are not looking so good for the market tomorrow. So as you see here, futures are, popped up a little bit. So 273, maybe this is just getting rolling, but it's down pretty significantly from the low today. So today it was down, NASDAQ was down 1.5, almost 1.6. Dow was down 1.2. Now, both of them are down a little bit more, but at the last few minutes, they popped because some traders want to get, just in case that things may turn around tomorrow, they want to be in position to benefit from that. So that's what they seem to be doing. So it looks like it's going to go down at least as much, if not more. I believe it's going to go down more on Friday, but we'll see. I'm just looking at things and saying, looks like it's not going to be so good. Crypto, as you guys can see, it is down pretty heavily. It's down. Looks like it's getting ready to bust through 60,000 on Bitcoin. XRP got slaughtered today. So let's go look at what's going on in trading, in the trading side. So I have a trading view, which basically gives us the current situation. Looks like Bitcoin is actually bouncing a little bit. So it was down. It was down pretty significantly after the market closed for several hours. It just kept on going down. All right. So right now, as you guys can see, this is the daily. Looks like crypto's getting a little bit of a bounce. Trying to get back up to that Bollinger Band, which is, it's really once stocks or crypto, whatever, pushes through the Bollinger Band. This is upper Bollinger Band, the middle Bollinger Band. Where's the middle one? Is that I think it's this blue one right here. But these lines are all over the place. 200, it's below the 200. It's below the 100. It's below the 50. It's below everything, and it still wants to go lower, it looks like. So getting a little bit of a pop, because that's what usually happens when it plunges deeply below the Bollinger Band. Sometimes most of the time, it'll actually get a little pop back up towards it, which it looks like it's doing. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. Now, in the triple Qs, it's not showing the after action now. So the aftermarket is done. But earlier, it was down significantly. It was down 8.72 in the triple Qs, and it was down almost another 8, after hours. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But looks like we're gonna have a heavy correction tomorrow, and we'll see. So if you guys are still in the stock market, which I've told you not to do that, but if you still are, then you're probably going to get spanked. All right, you're going to be spanked pretty good. Gold, as you guys can see, has held up fairly well. Silver is at 69. That $70 level, which is right around in here, seems to give it a little bit of support. But as you guys can see, it crashed down to 63. I think there's a possibility it may come all the way down. You see, this is a support area right down in here, around 50. So if it crashes through 59, it seems like every $5 or so, there's like support. But if it crashes through 60, then probably next support is 55. And the next one below that is like, of course, 50. and 50 seems to be the most strong support. Now, the only thing that will make it go that low is if it does really correct hard tomorrow. We may see that, and that could be an incredible buying opportunity. It could be, just we could be seeing more of the same. So XRP, see somebody talking about XRP. I know you XRP bros are like, probably crying, but XRP is probably going to go a lot lower, guys. All right, and this is the daily. It's moving. It moved lower earlier, but it's getting a little bit of bounce. Like I said, this was that flash crash that it had back in October. But you got to go way back. You got to go all the way back over here to a couple years back to see, this same low. So it's not, like I said, it's not looking so good for XRP or the other Bitcoin. So Michael Saylor, who had, started a ETF, that's in big trouble, right? So if we see this Bitcoin go to where I predict it's going to go to, which is 35 to 30, which is, so the next line of support will probably be around 52 or so. We may see that tomorrow or maybe not, but we're going to see it. We will see that at some point. Then we'll get another support around 43, and then all the way down here to 34, 35. I think it's going to 32 or maybe even as low as 30 before it holds for a little while. And it could go lower. The thing that could drive it lower all the way down to like 24, 25 would be, like I'm predicting, a very, very significant stock market crash. So looking at the NASDAQ, as you guys see here, this is a daily, and you have to go. We had significant stock market crash back in April of last year, and when it came back up, it left a lot of gaps. Now, I'm always saying that gaps have to be filled, but these gaps never got filled. So you have a gap all the way back here at 21.9, which is like almost 3,000 below what it is right now. And then you have another one that's down at like 20. And the last one that needs to be filled is all the way down to 18. So these significant corrections that I'm talking about could be coming, right? Could be coming, could crash down below this, I believe. It'll probably come back and test that. It never really properly tested that low back at 16. And from there, we're looking at probably coming down and testing, I think, 14. So that will put us around the, my prediction of like, getting close to my prediction of, an 80%, correction, maybe even more. So probably around, 10 or 5 or something like that. So that's where we're starting to see the real support down around 10. So lots of corrective action that's coming, I believe. Will it come? Some of it tomorrow. Will it come down and hook up with that 200-day moving average, which is the last support it's going to get, and then bounce off that? Or will it crash through like we saw back in April of last year? Remains to be seen, right? Tomorrow it could open up higher. These things do happen, but I think we're going to probably come down and correct pretty significantly. Whether it's going to be whether it'll be tomorrow and through next week, or whether it's going to be further out, remains to be seen. But it is coming. So, and the same thing is coming for Bitcoin. Bitcoin will go lower, a lot lower. This is a given. The head and shoulders top that I called, it's fulfilling it. All right. So fulfilling the head and shoulders brings it down around 35 at least. And like I said, probably 30. All right. So, lots, and of course the Dow Jones, it can go a lot lower and barely make a difference. Right? Barely make a difference. It can correct like another $10,000, and we won't even blink. But the NASDAQ, 10,000 on the NASDAQ, that's huge, and that'll be a massive movement. In the meantime, at some point, like we've seen in the past, when the stock market violently corrects, then silver and gold eventually break free and go up. You will not see that for Bitcoin. And a lot of people have been saying that's what we would see. I have been skeptical and saying, I don't believe so. And so that's being proven out now. So we're looking at the stock market correcting as Bitcoin corrects. So as Bitcoin corrects down to it's got another 50% to go, down to the level that I'm predicting. And I don't think we're going to get 50% of the stock market correcting, but we're going to get a barely significant, probably 20, 30% correction in the stock market. So, and maybe we'll get a bounce and maybe it'll keep going. So we'll have to look at that as it comes. All right. So silver prices, like I said, will eventually break free. Silver is very volatile, always throughout history, and that's what silver does. It likes to be volatile. It likes to go up fast and hot, and then it likes to cool off and plunge into cold water, right? So to cool off, and that's what it's done. So historical 100-year averages, when you are historical prices, not averages, but prices for silver. If you look at the silver prices throughout history, you're going to see basically kind of like what I'm talking about, where the silver price, goes up ridiculous amounts, right? Multiples, multiple times of what it is. And that's what we're seeing right now. We saw it go up multiple times, and then it pulls back, like we saw here, and like we saw here, and like we saw here. So when it pulls back from these highs, it basically builds up energy, and then it blasts off. Now this massive cup, which went from 79 to 2011, so 30, almost 40-year cup. And then the handle, so about 35 years with the cup and handle, 40 years with the cup and handle. That's probably the most massive cup and handle in the history of any market throughout time. And then the response from that is what we saw, the $121 an ounce pop that it got recently. And now we get the violent pullback and the basing, the base movement, and then the just a massive upswing from that point on for years, right? So that's where we're moving. I know a lot of you guys are don't understand. You haven't been observing for a long time. I was observing this all the way back when I was 11 years old and buying silver, because silver had popped, had gone down, and then it was going back up again. And I caught that as a little boy, right? I was buying silver as a little boy, 11 years old. So I've had, over 50 years of experience, with silver. And silver's going through another massive, bull market. So these bull markets in silver are very volatile, wild swings. We've been telling you guys this was coming. Wild swing. I didn't think it would be this crazy wild, but here it is. Does it, bounce me out of my position to hold silver and accumulate more? No. Another accumulation opportunity. Now for the silver miners, and this, I would wait a little bit and see how far back the stock market pulls back before I really jump into the silver miners on a pretty significant level, which I plan on doing, and add to my silver position, and maybe even grab some more platinum and gold, because it's so cheap now. It's probably going to get a little bit cheaper, but gold, like I said, has really held up well, and it's not as volatile, but it did pull back. All right, it's almost pull back $1,000. $1,000 is like not that big when you're like $5,600, but it's percentage wise is when you're looking at silver, the silver pullback is very significant, right? So like again, tomorrow, if we have another major market pullback, it will be a major potentially. You have to have your own what you feel is comfortable for you as far as like how much you buy and when you buy and so forth. It could be that point where you start to accumulate a little bit more aggressively, but still watching. And then when it pulls back, if and when the stock market pulls back. So today and yesterday, the stock market really wanted to break free and go up, but the crash of crypto pulled it down. It was like a weight, right? So I don't really know why the stock market and crypto are joined the way they are. Crypto and gold are not joined, as we saw today. Crypto massively plunged, and gold. There was like some kind of little thing going on between gold and crypto for a while, where they kind of like moved along the same. That pattern has been broken, right? So all of the people that in crypto were saying that crypto is like gold. That got disproven today, and it will be disproven, I think, in the coming days and weeks going forward, as it plunges down another 50% down to around 30, right? So just stand by as far as like what you're doing with accumulating more silver. If you have it, there's absolutely no reason to sell at this point. That's crazy. Maybe some people like sold it at 121. If you did, wow, you're lucky, right? But maybe you saw it. Maybe you know some stuff that maybe your intuition on silver is better than me. So good for you. But so Kim in Wisconsin, you see it, buy it. See it, buy it. See it, buy it. All right. So I think might wait a little bit on silver, buy it. Take advantage of the pullback. Whatever your positions are, wherever you've accumulated at. I've accumulated most of my silver well below these numbers. It's not going to go that low again, right, for a very, very long time. So I'm very, very pleased, very happy with my silver investment. It's done unbelievably well, better than anything else in my whole life, right? So I've done a lot. I've invested my whole life in lots of different things, and shorting and options, and I have a very nice option, put option in the stock market right now is doing very nicely. Hopefully, it will continue to do nice through tomorrow. So, and that will give me more money to buy more silver and more silver stock. So, you just kind of look at the market. You see the trends. Unless you're got 50 plus years of investing, I don't recommend you're in and out like I am, but maybe some of you out there are doing that. Some people do. So the Viet Dong, anybody know? I'm not in the Viet Dong. I'm in Iraqi dinar, and that's the only one that I because I was over there, I felt very strongly that would probably go up. But I've heard a lot of people think the dong's going to go up, so I don't know if it's going to go up, but it seems like it's kind of like on the same patterning. So it wouldn't hurt to get some. It's not going to cost you much. You get like $1 by $1 billion or something. It's like, so why not? But I'm not. It's not one of those that I pay attention to. I've heard it, but that's not because like I said, I was in Iraq for a long time. And I know the situation there. I feel that they're basically once I ran so far away. I don't know why that song just popped in my mind, but anybody remember that song? So somebody probably remembers those. I like my wife is like crazy with that. I'll just like whistle something, and she's like she'll say that tune. She'll know that tune. I was like, wow, it's amazing. So Flock of Seagulls, Christine, you win. Yep, that's a good song. Yeah. So I'm from that era, so I'm from a lot of eras. So I have a lot of songs. Yes, Flock of Seagulls, good. And one hit wonders, whatever, so their music was pretty that I remember. You remember the cassette tapes, so that cassette tape was really good. I played it a lot. I liked all the music on it, but that was the only one that was really a big one. All right, so the other big ones are going to be silver. All right, and you don't have to run so far away. You need to like hang with it, and the flock of seagulls will be flying around you like all happy, and you toss them some food or whatever. I don't know. Don't toss them bread because I hear they eat the bread and it swells up and they blow up. I've heard that. I think it's a lie, but whatever. All right. Lots of love, guys. Stay in the love vibration. Just keep your eyes open. Be observant. Deep state basically, is in turmoil. They're warring against each other, which is good because they're not probably going to war against us as much. And I did ask Craig Lund. I was like, "Who do you think is going?" Because he has had these predictions which have been coming true, and he said that the next assassination would probably be someone within the tech community, and a three-person. I said, and I'm thinking to myself before I asked him, I was like, "Who do you think?" And because I have, and he goes Gates, and I was like, "Ta-da!" I thought the same thing. So we're thinking the same thing. Gates, because they're dissing Gates a lot. They don't. They like to sacrifice, and Gates would be like, "Yes, Lucifer, I will sacrifice myself for you." And they're like, "Okay, so go shoot yourself and 2 other people." Right? So I don't know. It's just that's the way they work. So stand by. Might see Bill Gates go bye-bye. All right, guys. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration, and I'll see you guys next time.